The last drops of milk mixed with water, filling up the whole bottle. That was a family's food for the entire day. When his daughter said she was still hungry, the father told her,
I dreamed I had a steak. Thick, juicy steak. I'm stuffed. I'm absolutely full. I cannot eat another thing. You wanna give me a hand?
He was clearly starving himself, yet he'd saved all his food for her. Before dawn broke, he was already out the door. In the midst of the Great Depression, a full stomach was nothing but a luxury. The family was so broke they never knew where their next meal would come from. Jack could only walk to the docks looking for work. The place was already packed with desperate men, everyone on the brink of starvation, crowding outside the iron gates, begging the foreman for any work at all. But even the docks were struggling. They only needed 6-day laborers today. The foreman randomly picked 6 lucky souls, the chosen ones who wouldn't go hungry tonight. Unfortunately, Jack wasn't among them. He could only walk away disappointed. When Jack got home, he discovered his son had stolen a sausage from the butcher shop. A big one, enough to feed the family for half a month. But the moment Jack saw it, he made his son return it to the store. On the way back, Jack told his son that no matter what happens, we don't steal. In his last fight, Jack had broken his right hand. The recovery was taking forever, but he was so desperate for money, he hid his injury to get another boxing match. One fight would bring home $100, enough to keep them afloat a little longer. The fight was ugly as hell. Jack's strength was his right hook. His left was weak. As the boos from the crowd grew louder, Jack lost his focus. And losing focus is where disaster begins. Out of habit, he threw a right punch, landing square on his opponent's head. His hand broke again. After the fight ended, the real disaster struck. The promoter refused to pay Jack, and revoked his boxing license. From that day forward, he could never fight again. Devastated, Jack went home, and apologized to his wife through his tears. Even injured, he was still the family's only breadwinner. He decided to paint his cast black with shoe polish, so when he went looking for manual labor, no one would know he was hurt. A few days later, the power company cut their electricity. They hadn't paid the bill in 6 months. Winter had arrived. Without lights, they lit candles. Without heat, they snuck out to tear down public fences, dragging the wood home for firewood. Even then, their youngest got sick from the cold. The family had hit rock bottom, then kept digging. With no other choice, Jack went to the relief office, standing in the long line for welfare. It was his first time. He'd always been too proud, hated the idea of taking handouts. The relief office gave him $19, not even enough for the electric bill. Walking home, Jack racked his brain for solutions. He saw poor kids, filling buckets at fire hydrants, drop by drop, dressed in rags against the cold. Then he saw rich kids running out of luxury apartments, bundled up warm and clean. It hit him suddenly. Pride meant nothing, so he went to the boxing club where he used to work, where the bosses who'd fired him still gathered. Head down, he told them about his desperate situation, asking if they could spare some change. Several men pulled out their pocket money, dropping coins into his hat. Others just watched coldly, not giving a dime. He took the hint and moved on. The once mighty boxing champion had become a beggar. Come March of the next year, his manager suddenly showed up at Jack's door, with news of a fight. Jack asked, "Didn't they revoke my license?" The manager explained, the opponent was the world's second-ranked heavyweight, but his scheduled fighter got injured. The boxing commission desperately needed a punching bag, so they thought of Jack. Let him take a beating, pay him $300. Jack agreed immediately. The money was too important to pass up. The next evening, just before the fight, as Jack was getting ready, his manager heard, his stomach growling like thunder. Turns out, Jack had gone to the soup kitchen that morning, but they'd run out. He hadn't eaten all day. The manager panicked. How could he fight while dizzy from hunger? With minutes before the bell, he scrambled to find a bowl of fried rice and potatoes, but there was no spoon in the bowl, and Jack couldn't dirty his hand wraps. The manager had to run out looking for a spoon.